So what are we talking about? JFK, yeah?
Yeah.
Just chewing the fat on this.
Mm-hmm.
And Challenger.
Yeah.
I think it's Challenger.
Yeah.
And then the Kremlin had theirs where they were arsoned, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Khrushchev. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Khrushchev.
And it was his son that was recounting the tales of that. Was it his son? I don't know. I think it maybe
someone from the family, some later generation.
was talking about it. A guy with the glasses. He seemed quite fluent in English, to be honest. And there seems to be whatever that is related to, like, you know, when you see the two scenarios that are playing out, right?
Yeah.
So we had the burning of the White House, yes.
Yeah.
Then World War One, was it? And what was the burning over?
I don't know. They were just fighting. I don't know.
What, like a tiff?
I don't remember exactly.
Because there was a battle before that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
At some harbour, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm covering this correctly, I'm not sure if I am.
I'm not sure either.
Oh, it's on the tip of the tongue. Fort something or other. Does it ring a bell to you? Fort?
I can't remember.
Anyway, it probably comes to me anyway, but there was that sort of battle there, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Then White House.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes into World War One.
Yeah, that's later, yeah.
And then, much later.
Yeah, much later.
In World War Two.
Yeah.
And then who was the drive there towards World War One? Who was the ones that were like, we're going in for this?
There was assassination of Franz Ferdinand or whatever was his name. He was supposed to inherit the Austrian Empire.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I understand that, but
and that caused that was the cover.
Was it Roosevelt? Was he World War One or Two?
Two.
Who was before then?
In World
War One.
That was the Austrian Emperor and German.
No. World War One. Who was running America then?
Oh, I don't know. Was it Wilson Woodrow at that time? I don't know.
Say again.
Wilson Woodrow, was it at that time?
Sounds familiar. So, what was the story then? Who wanted to go into that? Was there hesitation on America's part to go in?
I don't know much about that.
Because Roosevelt didn't, did he? He was hesitant.
Yeah.
And then was there a hesitation for World War One as well?
Yeah, I know that was, but I don't know about Americans, so I don't know.
Was America hesitating that too?
I don't know.
See, that's something, isn't there? Because America was quite new in the standards of... And then how long ago was it that the White House got burned down? From then until then, because it means they were quite new at the establishment, weren't they? Not much weapon power back then, because it was almost lost, wasn't it? It was back and forth, weren't it?
I really don't know much about that.
Well, they stole a load of stuff. This is Britain, isn't it? I didn't know any of this happened.
Me neither.
It's not something that you're ever taught about. But, you just pick it up as you go along. And then, was it one of the queens had the hand over the...
Victoria?
Like this, that looks like this.
Yeah, the globe or something.
It looks like what's America there.
Uh-huh.
And then she's got her hand over it.
Yeah.
And that means mine.
Uh-huh.
The star?
Yeah.
Symbol. I don't know where I even picked that up from. I just know this from somewhere. Anyway, so there was sort of that. So there must have been something going on over the taxes, yes?
Yeah.
So America were already sort of new finding their feet, and then the
Yeah.
White House happened. Yeah.
Yeah. That-
So again, and then there was the one of those Fort Andrews, is it? Where there was a battle somewhere there, which America won that, didn't they? They managed to fend off the British in that.
I don't
Yeah, I think they
remember.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if that's how it goes in that sort of order somewhere, then after that, that's then when the White House was. Then there was a load of stuff, and they set fire to it, and loads of different cannon fodder and everything else, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Then a little bit after that, there was World War One. Yes.
Yeah.
So you can see that America was very new in becoming established.
Yeah.
Man, could anyone try that shit with them today? You know, I just don't think it's gonna.
No.
Doesn't go down very well, right?
No, it wouldn't.
So I guess in that it taught them a lot of things, didn't it? To get strong quickly.
Yeah.
So and they did. And then there's World War One. So I mean that's pretty new, right? So they might not have been all out for that. But who was in World War One? Who was driving this force?
As I said, it started in Europe.
Yeah, it may have started in Europe, but then how did we get involved with that?
Allies.
Allies.
Yeah. That
And
was
our
who
allies
was
were
who was allies with whom, and they had to follow to the war with their allies who started the war or had disagreement or whatever.
And the word allies for Ukraine, UK reign, again.
I don't remember who was allies with
Okay,
whom.
so what was the Second World War then?
That started Germany.
How did we get involved with that?
You were attacked as well.
Well, I don't think we were attacked because there's two narratives on that story. What is this where the massive ship come close? But they stayed in the distance, and then somewhere along the lines there was two relays made. One relay that was made to the German warship was to come closer.
Yeah.
That much I could, you know, one, it was, depends who says it, right? If you've
Yeah.
got left and right, that's how you got it, right? One side says one thing, the right says something else, yes?
Yeah.
One of the tales from there, I think, is that the German warship was meant to come, and they sent a signal saying that they were going to come into the waters. They were told to come closer and got clearance to come so. And then the other side of it is that that was the antagonist for the war.
Probably
That was their act of the declaration of war, yes?
Probably that was used.
Now, what do you believe in that when there are two different reports? So what? That's what then kick-started it here then. So the first time, World War One, it was protecting allies. World War Two, it was the Germans come closer
Yes.
with a warship.
Yeah, and then they bombarded London and other places, didn't they?
Right, and there was miscommunication in that, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there?
Probably, yeah.
Seems pretty weird way to invade someone, really, doesn't it? Well, you just take one warship.
Yeah.
No aircraft, nothing else, just a warship. Seems a bit odd to me. If I was going to invade someone, they won't know what fucking hit them. Yeah, I would have fucking just flown everything I got.
Yeah.
I'd have wiped it.
Yeah.
And at that time, would they have done V2 rockets and everything else? They were not prepared.
No.
It almost seems a bit weird to me that when I follow this back from Germany, they weren't even ready.
Yeah.
The V2 rockets. Why would they go to war first when they hadn't even built their V2s fully? That comes sometime after, didn't it? Sometime towards the end, didn't these come down?
Yeah, it was closer towards the end, but in the beginning they...
Right, but Britain had this intelligence that they already knew they were making them. But they weren't ready yet.
Yeah.
Man,
Maybe they were
I don't like doing this, but if it's there, it's there, isn't it? And then what? Germany are going to start a war unprepared? That seems like fucking hell, man. I'm going to go to school without my pencil case.
Well, they were prepared for some other countries, maybe, because Poland had really poor army, like with horses or something like that, so they were invaded easily.
So World War One was close, yeah? 5-year battle?
Yeah, 14 till 18, so 4 years. Yeah,
14 till 18.
yeah. 1914, 1918, it finished. Didn't
Okay, and then in that, Britain were like, we're going to go and get ready. We're going to go and get dressed up. Hitler weren't ready. It seemed that. He wasn't ready. So it seemed like he went off and focused on other stuff, building technologies and different shit like that. And we all know this because... And then what? He then goes to war with us by bringing a warship. Doesn't make any sense. So it then believes, for me to believe that if I was investigating this, it seems like we were the antagonist in that one.
Who invited the warship? Was it Churchill or
yeah,
Chamberlain?
Maybe, who knows?
Because Chamberlain was sympathizer and Churchill wanted war. So question is how it happened. If one invited and the other one used it.
And one's been put on a £5 note.
Yeah.
Well, you must have done something really good. Knowing when to strike, right? And I mean, Britain nearly lost that.
Yeah.
Cannon fodder, right?
Yeah.
That was close.
Yeah.
Britain almost made the stupidest gamble ever. If it wasn't for America, we wouldn't. It would be a different time.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same ones that we decided to set on fire and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Treat like absolute shit with the tax and everything else, and they were like, you know what, we got to do something. And Roosevelt, was it? Then the second one?
Yeah.
Was very hesitant, umming and ahhing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't he get sick?
He was sick. Yeah, he was sick even before that.
Then this fires off, right? And this just seems like something that's just... And what? Germany go to war without building V2 rockets? Wouldn't you have mass-produced the V2 rockets? They came in at the later part of the war.
Yeah, they came later, didn't they?
Yeah.
But they had good other stuff that the rest of Europe didn't have because they were building it from mid-30s or whatever.
So we go in World War One, and you notice a pattern with this. We first go in Iraq War,
Yeah.
then we sort of cool off for a bit,
Yeah.
and then we go again.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So again, this same pattern of behaviour is there. So then who instigated the World War One? Was it Britain? And then what for? Rockets. Honestly, I think this has got nothing else apart from resources. Once again, we always find a war goes to resources. Gee, me.
Yeah, it's always covered by some different story, isn't it?
When you start war, you make sure you've got shit.
Yeah.
Hidden and seen, you know. You don't go starting war unprepared. No one does.
Yeah.
See, this is the bit that falls down for me. It was unprepared. It seemed like Germany weren't even going to bother after this. Maybe they were, because they were building up this stuff.
Yeah. But at that point, they already had much better tanks and much better other technology, didn't they?
Right, but if they were left any longer, it would be a different place.
Yeah.
They'd have won. And they would have been saying all of the stuff, and they'd have been saying to us, 2 World Wars and an FA Cup, you know? Which I find that horrible, to be honest. It's really xenophobic, to be honest. But there you are, that's just the way it is, right? So any later, and that wouldn't have gone very well, because they'd already been prepared with the V2 rockets, the better tanks, certain types of UFO equipment, which we would understand as a flying saucer.
Yeah.
So alloy, you need alloy, you need stars, electromagnet and magnet. Earth's magnetic field. Yeah, I think they would have been going that way, somewhere along those lines. And they never got anywhere on the world.
Yeah.
From north to south.
Yeah.
how you get out of those bands is quite a dance. So yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Well, they were almost were there with that anyway.
Mhm.
You don't need to be no fucking genius to understand that. That's pretty obvious. And then America get involved, save our asses. Russia get involved, also save our asses.
Yeah.
Either or. I mean, the Russians were like slaughtered as well.
Yeah, because they didn't have the technology. They
And then
didn't.
that winter came. My
Yeah.
word, did they kick ass?
Yeah.
They know snow.
They used their own knowledge of their nature,
Yeah.
didn't they? Yeah.
Well, if I ever want to walk around Russia, I'm going to find a Russian.
Huh?
You guide me. Why?
Yeah.
You know this shit.
And Germans were unprepared because before that Napoleon lost in Russia because of the weather.
Because of the weather,
So
yeah.
if they were prepared, so
They just live in it, so they know it.
Yeah.
They're accustomed to it.
yeah, yeah,
And not without perseverance, because you got to understand that that's a lot of
yeah. And they
shit we don't understand. You
and
know?
they burned everything. So even when they had to step back, they burned all the towns, cities, villages behind them. So Germans had no food in
Yeah.
winter, nothing.
So you've got to admit that Germany took an awful lot of battering and almost didn't get defeated.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you got to understand that
Yeah.
that's whereas you see it on the other side, yeah, but almost they gave free nations a run for their fucking money.
Yeah.
That is something,
Yeah.
and I think that anywhere in history that we should really learn that. Do you get what I mean? That
Yeah.
they put up a fucking fight.
yeah, they did.
They put up a brutal fight,
Yeah.
literally, and
Russians really put up suicidal fight.
yeah.
They were on the verge of really like
So had that have gone any longer, I think 6 months to 18, and I think they would have won. In fact, it was very close. If I think that it took them by surprise was the Americans stepping in
yeah,
and Russia,
Yeah.
and even then, fucking cannon fodder. Some of the technology coming out of there was revolutionary.
Yeah.
You can't deny it.
Yeah.
Some of the shit that was coming out
Mm.
is like on the borderline of genius, and Werner von Braun and different stuff like that. These are very clever people, right?
yeah,
Perhaps they had other intentions, like it got found out afterwards,
mhm,
and it proved it, because
Yeah.
you could say the space program and different things like that. Yeah.
mhm,
Then after World War II, well, Russia go off with their tracks, yeah,
yeah,
and the rockets. You see them on the trains and all the footage is right clearly there.
yeah,
America go off with theirs
mhm.
and all that technology.
And they took von Braun as well.
Yeah. And then Britain claimed pride. And a small amount of technology, but not much.
Mm.
So I think this is where you say that it liberates.
Yeah,
America then move off. Walter Disney gave Werner von Braun some airtime
yeah,
on Disney,
program.
and then captivated the imagination of the children there
Yeah,
about going to the moon and
Yeah.
stuff like this. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it was, and then this kick-started the space race, and then Kennedy formulates. Yes.
yeah,
Then you have Khrushchev, I think. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
yeah,
And they keep their space program very close to heart, and they're both focused on space.
mhm,
That's clear.
yeah,
After all of that bloody war, someone needed to cheer up, right?
yeah, yeah,
And Kennedy's focus on that is space.
yeah,
And they say that that technology in the right hands is, and you can believe that. They really were hesitant about the war, but had to, and if they hadn't, well, pretty much the Kremlin and America saved Britain.
yeah.
That's how that is.
Yeah.
Like it or lump it.
Yeah,
So when we
and-
say the Americans saved us, it was also Russians too.
Yeah, and the rest of the Europe as well.
Yeah, Europe and
Yeah, they
also
saved them.
Germans
Yeah.
too. Yes. Now, they're focused in on this, Kennedy's promise of 10 years this decade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then we've got this space. This is why all wars seem to liberate.
Yeah.
Every single time you look at that, that's liberation
Yeah.
poetry.
Yeah.
America were liberated because they began to develop really quickly, very fast,
Yeah.
in fact,
Mm.
really quickly. Which then brought them up to speed, and it
Yeah.
helped their liberation process.
Yeah.
You've got to admit that, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're not exactly going to go burn the White House now, are you?
No.
No. Both of them are like sports day event with one another, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And Kennedy had a very weird speech about finding secrecy repugnant. God, he said that with such disgust.
Yeah.
He was pissed. What that
Yeah.
was, I don't know.
Mm.
It's hard to understand that, really, but he was finding something out. What that is, I don't know. Fly on a wall for that. Then a little bit after that, they're talking about space and different things like that. But that, I wonder if that was the thing that got him assassinated. I always ask that question. It seems like that is the sort of the kink in the chain, I always say. Whether it was or wasn't, it's... And then there was talk between Kennedy and Khrushchev. They were debating towards one another, I think it was, in a particular... you see the scenes where they're together. They've got their little tiff with Sputnik, and they give that to the. And then then there's Yuri Gagarin, and then there's the moon landing, Gemini, or XYZ, not in a particular order, but still. There's that sort of sports day event with one another, and then there's discussion of whether both sides of the house would join to formulate a space program together.
Yeah.
Because it could be cheaper for both sides. They could put in what they've got. Both sides were pulling out some pretty impressive technology. Russians with the waters that come later, but even still. I mean, a lot of good things going there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden... and then... Isn't that fucking weird?
Yeah.
Don't you think that is fucking strange?
Yes, it is.
Right after all of these events, and then boom. But yet, the Americans' tenacity meet Kennedy's deadline. They pushed on.
Yeah, they did.
Painstaking.
Yeah.
Pushed on. And I think Russians did as well.
Yeah.
I mean, to have a leader assassinated, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really something. Nation of mourning. I mean, well, our closest thing to that, which you wouldn't say assassinated, would you? You would say Princess Diana.
Yeah.
That's what that's like. To be able to keep going with that. That is the nearest thing that you can compare that to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, the way everyone's in mourning. Here it was, people were crying and you know, a little different though. And then that was in front of children as well. This one with Kennedy, it was in front of kids.
Yeah.
These people, whoever that was that did that, there's no respect for children at all. And then I'm not sure how he was assassinated there. But again, it leaves up not much to the imagination, really, does it? It still has an impact. It scars the nation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it almost broke the space program, but America was like, "Fuck that, we're continuing." You know, in America, and I think that was a positive thing to do, wasn't it? When you can't, when looking back at that, it's one of those mixed emotions, isn't it? It's very tragic, but yet very successful, but yet also very, work through that grief, And both sides, then go on to make different things here and there, right? But then wasn't Mir decommissioned? Was it Mir?
Mir, means world, Mir.
Which, why? what happened? Something went wrong.
Mhm.
Did it? Something go a bit AWire on there, or did it? And then Challenger,
Uh-huh.
that then began to
Yeah.
that with the O-ring.
Mm.
My question is, and I got one, but just forgive me for thinking out the box a little bit. I know they say O-ring,
Yeah.
but what happens if you hit that with a sniper rifle?
Yeah, you probably
Long
cause some
distance.
damage. Yeah.
Some of these sniper rifles can go to incredibly long range.
Yeah.
Was it just a terrible accident, or was it to try and stop this whole space program? And you could ask 1,000 questions as to why.
Someone doesn't like it. But who? Why?
Then those tragedy moments for America then seem to start to
Mm.
keep happening, don't they?
Mm.
Setback after setback, isn't it?
Mm.
It's interesting. It's not, but it is. But it's not. So I do wonder that. If you were to take a rocket like that, rebuild it, and just send it up just to shoot it with a sniper rifle or whatnot,
Yeah.
it always seems to be linked to rifles, this sort of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah. And see what happens. Yeah.
Can you blow an O-ring out doing that? And then if you took a load of O-rings and version and put it down the same scenario, you would get the same outcome.
Mm.
I'm sure of it, wouldn't you? You would.
Yeah.
And then it freezes, and then this, and
Yeah. But if they always checked everything
and then check the O-rings now and this, that, and the other. But I mean, serious. The teachers in space, this is and then the science, and then all of that, and then it drives even more and even more. And before you know it, you're beginning to build things, even more things, and then more people are going up. How would it have been? History would have been if Russia and America would have joined together with their space program. Fucking hell! I mean, with all of the different space probes that have been sent out, Voyager, oh my days, beautiful. But there was a little disagreement here in Britain, weren't there, with Jodwell Bank, Lowell. Do you know that, Lowell? They couldn't get any data back, could they? Here in Britain, from America, there was a signal coming in, and they depicted it, and it caused an international disagreement because Russia were pissed. And they were also very pissed at the fact that we had printed that in our papers before they got a chance to do so. And admittedly, that is kind of a bit wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
But again, is it the papers? Is it, that's kind of a bit of a disheartening, isn't it? I think is the word.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable.
No.
No. I think it's like, it's their stuff, but it's our equipment. Yeah, but it's theirs. It's their data.
It was for scientific purposes, not for display somewhere, wasn't it?
And then if we had to give that over,
Yeah.
what would the opportunities have been here? Here's your data.
Yeah.
People from here about I'm quite off with that.
Yeah.
I would be too, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, and I wonder if there's lesson learned or different things like that. There could have been, they posted theirs and celebrated theirs, and then afterwards they might have been, go on,
Yeah.
You didn't really hold anything back with some of the space stuff that they've brought back. They've shown some stuff, sharing it with people as well.
Yeah.
So it would have come, but perhaps we just had to wait the turn. We hadn't even ventured out to space. I think what we did as White Cliffs of Dover is just put a payload. And what could we get on top of those peroxide rockets? Terrible stuff. They had to hose people down to stop them getting burned.
Yeah.
And then when there was a rocket payload on the end of it, bit TNT or whatnot, that's it.
Yeah.
That's as far as we went. And then they had to move from the White Cliffs of Dover because there was a midwife clinic.
Yeah.
And then it got packed up and put over to Australia.
Yeah.
And you hear no more about it. Everything goes on as normal, and then others are doing this, that, and the other, and how much more different would the world have been?
Nothing more here.
Then they say hindsight and all the rest of it, you know?
Yeah.
What would space have looked like? That's the question.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There would be a shift on the planet. And that's, we're talking what, back then? I mean, to think about how far back, that's what, the 60s? Was it? 70s?
Yeah.
Voyager come after that, didn't it? Or
60,
said a bit
70,
before.
yeah.
So,
60, 70.
all the way up until 2025,
Mm.
going the other way, what difference would that have been? It'd have been big time different. Wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And then it sort of didn't fizzle out, but it got expensive, which it is.
Yeah.
Can't deny that. And it sort of stagnated.
Yeah. But that's why the nations work together on some projects, each of them doing a little piece and putting it together.
Yeah, it was like both sides were feeding each other off of that. That sort of push-pull, push-pull,
Yeah,
push-pull,
yeah,
push-pull.
yeah.
You can go really far with that. It's,
Competing,
as long as
yeah.
it's nice competition, yeah?
Yeah.
Like a sports day event,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
overseas, you know? It could have been very different.
Yeah. It
And then
could
that
be
could have
very-
forged an alliance there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something that got lost.
And then it's sort of like the Kennedy, the Challenger, just things started going wrong and on both sides as well. And then there was the assassination and just everything just started to melt down.
Yeah.
Like it was meant to.
Mm.
Fast forward till now and we're distracted over perhaps on the verge of another war. And then one side hates this side, but perhaps I think hate is a strong word. And again, this is over resources, but by and large, if the space program had gone a different way, what resources would they be bringing back?
Yeah.
That changes a lot of stuff, doesn't it, in the world?
Yeah.
Coming back with payloads and payloads
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Would they have already been at Europa by now? You know, is there lithium there? That gets a question, isn't it? Is there something better there? Something that's undiscovered that's better, that to hold a power source? And then you wouldn't know, really, would you? You really wouldn't know. And then we're back in the same cycle again. And history almost, just very close there. It's just on the verge of becoming something so much more than...
Yeah.
But with all of this delay, it's almost like... Then if Europe are in this too, you know, with building rockets and stuff, and I think NASA got it pretty well, didn't they? Didn't matter who you were. There was a little bit of a disagreement with weapons aboard, but again, we don't know what it's like landing in that climate. You've got guns.
Yeah.
But I think on one of the reports, it went so far off coordinate that they landed in an area.
Yeah.
They had bears scratching around at the capsule.
Yeah.
They were kind of stuck in it, probably very hungry as well.
Yeah.
And again, you know, survival means that if they're going to, you know, you've got to trek through wilderness.
Yeah.
How tough is it to get rescue into woods? It's almost impossible, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got to recover a freaking craft as well.
Yeah.
And you've got very hungry people that can barely move at the best of times anyway. It depends on how long they've been in space for, you know. They find it very hard to walk. Did you know that?
Yeah.
They got to sort of... So, you know, if it came to an opportunity of it, I don't know if you could eat a bear, but, you know, swing them around anyway.
Yeah.
Light a little fire and have a little cook-up. That means that you get to survive, you know.
Yeah.
It's challenging either way you do it, you know. And they're not really surrounded by much ocean either. So to land the capsule anywhere in ocean, I think America does it more for ocean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even that came close a few times, didn't it? Like in the ocean and different things like that. Some of them jumped out, I think, and the suits began filling. There was some stuff like that, and they said that there was some water coming in. and then they changed the design. But again, when you're in wilderness, it's always got its own challenges. He'd be like saying to the Americans, you can't have a raft." What the fuck? We need one. Yeah, but you just can't have a raft, you know? It's like saying that about not having a gun, yeah? Or a big knife or something. But again, the terrain where they're landing is where they're at, isn't it? You know? I'd probably eat it, but you know, there you are. You would need something to. What are you going to do? Take a barrel with your hands after being pretty weak from being in space for God knows how long. I mean, that's quite something. And then you've got to wait for vehicles or trucks to come, people to come.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite hard. Needle in a haystack. The best of times is even a needle in a haystack trying to find something on the ocean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are requirements. So I think that sort of, either side can look at, the sort of. Sometimes we can make mountains out of molehills on certain things, and if we don't see each other's point of view correctly, I think that can be blown into something pretty big that it's not, So, but commenders to the documentaries that were coming out because, they were very impartial. If you made news, it would be brilliant. But, it was so impartial, right? They were like, we'll kind of see it here and there, so. And then it helps you, the viewer, see it. I loved all of that, watching all of that stuff. I just love space, by the way, really do. Yeah. And it sort of melts down, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back into playing Earth games again.
Yeah.
Or in... so it's so fucking shit. It's unbelievable. Earth games are pretty shit, aren't they? I mean, Neil Armstrong was a pilot, right?
Probably, yeah. Most likely.
He was flying, testing. What is the American Air Force called? Is it just that American Air Force? What's it called?
I don't know.
Meaning that. If he comes from that, and he had a thirst for that, flying the. He really had a thirst. How many other Americans in the Air Force do they have? Oh, he speaks from example, right?
Yeah.
That must be something. Wouldn't you be itching to do something like that? We're flying everywhere on the planet now, They want to fly around the moon. Neil was the one, isn't he? He was. He found the whole trip boring, didn't he say? But then when it comes to landing, I mean, that's something, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You got to be hungry for that, right?
Yeah.
That sort of hunger there to do that. It's risky, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think they get a bit of a out of that. But then you can begin to bring things back. Heroism, again,
Yeah.
Risk, hero, and get to fly a craft, That would be fucking awesome. I can only imagine, but just what he was saying,
Yeah.
Buzz is it Buzz?
Buzz Aldrin.
Yes. So they were fighter pilots or whatnot. I think he was testing different.
Mm-hmm.
And was David Scott as well?
Don't know.
Or was he not? Not sure anyway, but still.
I think all of them were probably, most of them.
Cool, you'd be itching to do stuff like that. Well, I think I would be anyway, Flown all the rest, let's fucking get in the best, Yeah. So bringing stuff back as well, I mean, that's incredible. Yeah. Send probes, find the way, and then get in there and grab the payloads, and you'll be bringing them back left, right, and say, maybe. It's challenging, but I dare say it's not impossible. And then both sides would have that sort of building towards it, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And then if you throw EU into that as well, that's a trio.
Mm-hmm.
Before you know it, you're bringing back resources from left, right, and centre. And then if it was shared, you're just saying if, could you think about that? What you could trade with? Some are digging out from this moon, some are digging out from that moon, some are going off to that one. I mean, probably more probes for the further away, but
Yeah.
Mars and back,
Mm-hmm.
And then it's having the will to do it, didn't he say? And Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong both say that. They say it's having the will to do it.
Mhm.
What's that? What did you say? Gotta have the will to do it. Well, you're going now. There ain't no turning this baby off. Yeah, I think that's what you need. Someone else to light that for you, you know? We'll launch it, but you can do it on the way back. Yeah, alright, fucking hell. I'd rather it that way, wouldn't you? Oh no, the button doesn't work. Here's a pen. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Kennedy's promised there and kick-started something else, and from the war, just such liberation now. But it liberated way too far, too much, it would seem, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or did it? And was it supposed to go that way? You know, that's another thing. I mean, because if you didn't take back... Did we take back any Germans here? Nazis, sorry. I don't think we did we?
What back? How do you...
Well, in Britain, did we bring any Nazis back?
I don't think so.
Weird. But did anywhere else? America did, yeah?
Mhm.
Did Russia?
I don't
Parts
know.
of Europe?
I don't know.
I think we spent most of the time hunting them, yes?
Yeah.
That still continued on to what? It's in my memory from, you know,
Mm-hmm.
weren't here during the war, but the aftermath of it was still around, you know?
Yeah.
This whole talk of Nazis, and if we find you,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
will do this crime for you, we're doing this. And
Yeah. They were haunted for quite a while, weren't they?
But America took back some, yes? We should
America.
try and find out what it was they were planning on doing.
I think that
there was
America
a type of
protected.
interrogation psychology and
Yeah.
understanding psychic.
Yeah, they protected them from Russians, I think, because Russians would not let them live, probably.
Yeah, but in that, you got to understand that Werner von Braun was innocent.
Yeah, but
Wasn't he?
still, but
If you
still,
think about it,
yeah,
I mean, he seemed to have kept going with what he was saying,
Yeah.
and it spared his life. And
Yeah.
then he had to test his mettle,
yeah,
and he did.
yeah,
And he was given a chance by Walter Disney Walter, wasn't it?
yeah,
Whatever.
Walt Disney, yeah.
So I guess people just felt what he was, and again, he was being labelled as Nazi, but again, at the same time, if he had an idea to go somewhere else, and
Yeah,
but then his stuff was sort of, no, you build this.
Huh?
Maybe we will after, but I doubt it. But you build it. That's sort of.
yeah.
He's kind of innocent in that. If he didn't, he would be killed.
Yeah, scientists sometimes.
If he didn't, he'd be killed. If
Yeah.
he did, then he'd live.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think that's... He was liberated, but he liberated himself, I think, in that, with
Yeah.
working with. And
Mhm.
look what come from that.
Yeah.
Getting behind somebody that, if not everyone else, had already judged as a bad person, and this, that, and the other, and maybe they should all fucking die. You know how it is. Okay, everyone gets all effed up and hyped up on shit. But I think they were given a chance.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they were bad people. I think that they were just quite scared in a situation, and what can you do? When a leader is convincing you, and perhaps they were doing assassinations on their own soil, right?
Yeah.
Perhaps covertly.
Yeah.
You got to be someone strong to stand up to that sort of brutalness, ain't you?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Or insane. I'm not sure, either way, to stand up. And I bet a lot of Germans did, and probably, probably met the end of a revolver for doing so,
Yeah, it's possible.
And some of them probably had hope, faith,
Yeah.
isn't it?
You know, yes, Jewish community, but also Germans too, that were brought into this. And I don't think it was just like, hey, do you want to? You're building some shit, aren't you? Do you want to come and join our fucking circle? I don't think it was like that. I don't think that was a choice.
No.
I think it was at gunpoint, most of it, and I think it was, you do this or I'm going to shoot you. Where do you want me to sign? I take the pen in them and sign the paper them. Yeah? I think it would have, you know, fucking hell. I think a lot of people often forget that. And I think some of the Nazis went underground afterwards as well, probably in fear. A lot of fear. I mean, and again, just a life of fear, really, wasn't it? That's what it was. If you think about it, if they didn't want to do it, but then who's ever going to give them a chance to talk? Who's going to listen?
Yeah.
Who's going to understand? Who's going to believe them? You know, hung, drawn, and quartered because you were there. So you must have done it. This is definitely you. Did you make it? Yeah, but yeah, I don't care. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. You, come on, line up. You know, and I think that's pretty bad as well, isn't it? That's not great. And then if they were propaganda, a lot of it, or brainwashing, I don't know what you want to call that. So inherently, that's not their fault, is it? Factored in with easily led and manipulated and all the rest of it, I think any of us can be susceptible to that.
Yeah.
Damned if you do and damned if you don't type scenario, really, isn't it? Either way, your outcome is death. And yet, I think America did the right thing there, you know, just sort of like trying to work with, but also be very careful at the same time. I appreciate that. And then, in the end, America and von Braun and a few others, quite a few others to be honest, managed to redeem themselves. And they were given a chance. Given a fucking chance. And I think that's something. Probably know what that's like. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Wow. So what happened to Kennedy? And the way it looks like it was something that was it. You know, I think again it was all dramaed up as Russian sympathizer. Who was that person?
Oswald.
Oswald?
Yeah.
Darren Brown. Is it easy to do so? You know, on that one where he got someone to do an armed something or other, or go to shoot someone, was it? Did you see that episode?
Shoot someone?
Yeah, it was something with this gun, and Darren Brown managed to hypnotize somebody to do something that they wouldn't use. Oh man, yeah. However, it's true or not, but again, fucking hell, that's brutal shit, that is. I'm not saying that everybody's susceptible to it, but you can find people that are. Some people are more so, some people are less. Gee me, are any of us safe? Yes, holograms all the way, hologram. It just makes me think about that episode. I can't remember what one it was. I think I just saw the screenshots to it, saw a few bits to it, but it's not something I like to watch, to be honest. Do you get what I mean? Because it's like, if he can do that, fucking hell, how many people do you need? Do you get what I mean? Can that happen? That is a question I ask, yeah? You know, it just takes one individual. Can you actually do that? And yet some of the things you can get people to do, just in suggestion and different stuff like that, and again, the techniques are not well known, and he has to get some sort of special license to learn that sort of stuff, and he's not allowed to teach it either. Hence why it's all covered in the secrecy and everything else. And who taught him that? And you mean to tell me that here, that not one single military soldier has ever looked into that? Ever?
Probably have.
Say again.
Probably have.
You think not?
I said probably have. Not no.
You don't think that anybody has looked into that?
No, I said
Yeah,
probably.
I know, but you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't think that anybody has ever looked into that, then I don't know who's delusional in that. And then, fucking hell, you can get other people in other nations to go and do other things in other nations, can't you?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Gee me.
Mm-hmm.
To make it look like something, yes? But it's not. Gee, it only takes one, doesn't it? Just one. And then he was shot, so you never really get to understand his side of the events, right?
No, we don't.
Because had he has survived, it could have been reconstructed, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I don't know, you know, you could really play with that and find out whether that is even possible and whether he's highly susceptible to it. And without that profiling, you may never really know, to be honest, do you? Some people are really highly susceptible to this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, do things they wouldn't usually do. It's really easy to do so, by the way. This would work really well if you wanted to initiate someone into your group, find out these people that are really susceptible to it, give them a load of shit to do, make them so that they are highly susceptible to this stuff, find out that they are, get them to do something, and then so either you're going to do this for us, or we're going to release this. Think about it. What could I do with that power? Think about that. I could get them to do something, know that they're going to do it, film it all at the right time, right place, right angle, and everything else. What could I use that information for? Well, you only need to hypnotize them once, get them to do something, know that they did it. Well, I'll sort of hush this over for you. But if you now don't go and do this, we'll release this. Do you think so?
Yeah.
Sick. But if you can think it,
Someone else can.
and then what would that person be fearing? One, they're being told in not so many words that you're free to now go and do this.
Yeah.
Just on that one thing, you only need to hypnotize them once and only get them susceptible to it one time. That's fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you dive into this subject, this is where it leads you. You go down a rabbit hole, big one. It's terrible, but it's also very true. And then you mean to tell me that not once in history this has ever happened? And then someone was like, I don't know, it was in a fog. Interesting. Tell me more about this fog. What was you doing before you got into that fog? And then some people don't remember doing a fucking thing. So do you want to tell me then? Do you want to tell me why it was that you gave me some money? I didn't give you any money. I've never met you before in my life.
Yeah.
Yes, well, you managed to, and I also got you to sign it as well. Right, gee, guess if you're telling me I did, but it was all a bit hazy for me. Man, I've never heard that before. And then everyone's like, oh, the blind fog and the rage, and you just saw red and stuff, didn't you? That's right, come on. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Sad world, but it's... You mean to tell me that there has never been one reported case of this, ever?
Maybe there has.
Fuck me. You might as well make that into a lottery.
Yeah.
Not one single case. Funny old world, isn't it? Not really. Quite sick. But there you are. What an interesting journey this one's been. And overall, that battle goes on between two. That's a lot of knowing released, isn't it? A lot of money, casualty. A lot of released stuff, and then that sort of brings you down, doesn't it? That's very expensive. Numbers dwindled on either side. Oh boy. See what I mean? Were there any nations that didn't get involved with the war? And how did their profit pot work? Can that, when we got into that war, didn't it bankrupt us so much so that even some other nations were more rich than we were? By illusion, yes?
Switzerland was neutral and Ireland was neutral.
And Switzerland is one of the richest countries in the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to ask the question then. Is it profitable then for your nation not to get involved with any war and remain neutral? And doesn't this rise your wealth up?
Probably.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very liberating in a way as well, isn't it? But so is Switzerland one of the richest nations in the world then?
I would think so. Yeah.
You don't.
I would think so.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would too. And then, if there was a war breakout, would other nations be pretty rich in that too? That didn't get involved.
Maybe. Yeah.
An illusion, really.
Yeah.
And then, would these nations have a place to rebuild? These other nations would have to support in that, wouldn't they? The rebuilding.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Build up the economy, crash the economy. Okay, rebuild the economy and crash the economy. Fucking hell. I like having these conversations, I actually don't, but it sort of helps you prepare in a way, doesn't it? Not prepare, but sort of see reasoning, don't you? Or something in that, like the mind.
Yeah.
And then what if each side, sort of all sides that go in and ally and this, that, and the other go involved with that? And all the numbers are dwindled and everything else. And another nation that was just sort of somewhere else comes in, and that's free taking from a lot of stuff, isn't it? Resources and cash and oh my days. Fucking hell, you know what I mean? That's very weird, isn't it? Yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave this one here. I think I dived into that one a fair bit, but weird. Yeah, let's leave it there.
Okay.